Good Wednesday evening. Am I late? If I am, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be late. Just trying to get things going up and around tonight. So we'll see how everything goes tonight. Hey, I hope that you all are doing well. Thanks for watching tonight. I really appreciate that. I spent the 7 o'clock hour on another Facebook channel tonight. So I was preaching for Abundant Life Tech's Home a little bit earlier tonight. So if you wanted to check that out, actually, you probably have heard a little bit of it because I did talk about no fear tonight. Imagine that, me talking about no fear. Well, anyway, wanted to honor Durant folks tonight, and so I was going to wear this last night, and I wanted to wear this tonight. So yeah, I'm in the t-shirt tonight. No short sleeve collared shirt. I don't know how well I'm going to function without a short sleeve collared shirt, but that's okay. So this is my Once a Lion, Always a Lion t-shirt. One team, one family. That's on the back. I'm not going to stand up and turn around because that would ruin Brian's idea. You just don't know if I'm wearing jeans or slacks or whatever. So anyway, but yeah, Once a Lion, Always a Lion. And I will point this out too. Sorry. I'm a Dixon graduate, class of '89, Dixon High School, just down the road to the east, about 50 miles. I grew up in Ardmore, but my wife graduated from Durant, also class of '89. I have two daughters that have graduated from Durant. I have three children, two daughters and a son, who currently go to Durant. My wife taught in the Durant school system for 7 years. I taught in the Durant school system for 3 years. I feel like I can wear the Once a Lion, Always a Lion shirt. So there's that. So I want to get that. Listen, we have a number of things to go over tonight. I have a lot of paperwork in front of me. I wanted to hit on a couple of things because, as always with social media, hashtag no pants. Well, it is what it is, man. Just saying, whatever will be. All right, I need for my other monitor to come up there. Anyway, lots to talk about tonight. As always, again, misinformation on social media. I want to go over a couple of things that have to do with the current events that have happened in the past 3 days. As always, I want to start by saying we are profoundly saddened in this community, and it has been a big loss that we have lost 4 high school students. We've lost 4 Durant Lions, and we are very saddened by that. Jamie, you're showing no video. Is anyone else showing no video? Jamie's having a hard time with video. Let me know if there's no one else on video. I'm getting video on my monitor. But we're very saddened by this loss. And it's been tough to grasp. It's been tough for me really to wrap my mind around. And I heard someone today, say, well, listen, my son was in the same class as a couple of those young men. I have a daughter in the same class as a couple of those young men, and I'm very frustrated. I'm saddened by a whole lot. And so anyway, no video. Okay, well, I am getting video here. So let me encourage you to do this. Close out. Somebody else did this. Close out and refresh. So if you want to watch tonight, and number of eyeballs on tonight, thank you for stopping by. Close out and refresh and come back, and I think it would be fine. Again, my video on my monitor says I'm online, and let me check. Yeah, I have audio too. All right, so please do. I would really like it if you did. All right, so let's get to the numbers first. Let's deal with the beer bug numbers first, as the reign of the beer bug tries to continue, and I'm just not going to let it. Numbers for Bryan County, and they are this. We have one uptick. And by the way, just in case you didn't know what an uptick is, it's a small increase. And so it is an uptick in the stats in Bryan County. And that uptick came in Durant. So there are now 11 positive confirmed cases in Bryan County. Of those 11, there's also an uptick in recoveries. It went from 7 to 8. So it evens out in number of active cases. And so there's that. From that standpoint, we still have a limited number of active cases in Durant and in Bryan County. Three active cases in Durant, and I believe 7 overall in Bryan County. So there is that. Thank you for everyone for stopping back by and checking back in. Jace, I'm glad you're here tonight. Good to see you as always. Susan, thank you for stopping by. And Teresa, man, it made me smile when I saw your name come up there in the very beginning. So I just appreciate you stopping by. Michelle, where can I get a Lion shirt? That's a really good question. I got this one out of my closet, and I'm not trying to be flippant about that. I'm really not. I haven't seen one of these in a while. As a matter of fact, if you look at it on me right now, and granted, I will say I have actually lost a little bit of weight during the quarantine time, during the shutdown time. And I thought I could get in this shirt pretty well. Mrs. Patriot told me that it looked like it had been in the dryer too many times. And so she's saying that, she said, no, you're not too big for that shirt. It's just gotten too small for you. Well, thank you, Mrs. Patriot, for thinking about that. Jamie, that's a good point. Walgreens used to carry them. I think I got this one. I want to say I got it when I was teaching, and I haven't taught in the last 2 years. So it was the 3 previous years that I was teaching. I think I got this when I was teaching. I'll have to check into that. I like the shirt, and I want to try to continue with the Durant Lion theme during the next week or so. So beer bug numbers have us at 11 in Durant, 8 recovery. So that's an active cases of 3. I will also point out too that I posted numbers the other day, and someone posted in the comments section that, well, some of the people from Bryan County went to Grayson County, so they've been counted in Grayson County numbers. Well, yes, and I think we've already talked about that live. And again, you have to understand the purpose of this show. We're trying to give hope. Now, we do want to point out some absurdity, and I'm going to point out some absurdity tonight, and I'm saving that till the end. So if you want to stick around and see absurdity, I have a graphic just for you. But we want to have hope, and we always want to talk about wisdom, and we want to talk about, using discretion. We want to talk about no fear. We don't want to walk in fear. Look, no virus determines your future, period. And I will tell you also, to add to that, no chart is going to tell us who lives or who dies. So there you go. But we want to talk about hope. We always do. And with that in mind, I thought we'd already talked about this, but that's the purpose of this show. This is for some news and commentary. This is where you get to post some things in the comment section, and I'll try to get to a few of them if I can. But the other side is that I get to have some commentary on the news. I really try to stay pure journalistic standard on the BryanCountyPatriot.com website. So any story that's there, we want to keep it on, straight up solid news. Okay. This show, this time, is so that we can have a little fun, we can laugh a little bit, and we can point out absurdity. So there. Yeah, you have to love the graphics, because I have one for you. Actually, this is a picture that I took, and I edited it a little bit to protect. So, all right, Susan, let me throw this one up there. Thank you. I saw something on Facebook from you a little earlier today from Susan, who runs Texoma Engraving. By the way, Texoma Engraving, the sponsor of Wedding Bells Wednesday, when we actually, post on Wednesday. Sometimes it's just Wedding Bells Day if we didn't get the marriage licenses posted. Anyway, Susan, as soon as we get approval from all 4 families, we have a Lion t-shirt fundraiser that will be posted. Proceeds will go to all 4 families. So thank you very much for that, Susan. That's with Texoma Engraving. And we posted last night the link from Brady Baskin, who has opened an account at First United, and you can go to any of the First United banks and you can donate to this account, and the everything will be distributed evenly among the 4 families that are involved. So there is that. All right, let's get to this. Oh, you know what? Let's get to our advertisers. I really want to say thanks to the folks at Alliance Health Durant, Bushwhackers, Corner Drug, Gordon Funeral Home, and I believe I saw, there we go, Brent Gordon's name. Brent, if you are still watching tonight, shout out, dude. Thank you very much for being an advertiser, a sponsor. Also, Heartbeat Realty, KFC. Drove by KFC for Mrs. Patriot tonight. Loving some KFC. Shamrock Bank, Taco Mayo, and Waffle Shop. So Brent saying he is in the building tonight. Waffle Shop. I am glad too. I've seen on the Waffle Shop that you can go in now, and so open seating. At least I think I saw that right. So they are open there at the Waffle Shop. So thanks to all the sponsors and advertisers for being a part of the broadcast tonight. All right. Let me see here. Susan, thank you for joining as well. Josh, appreciate you joining tonight. And Mrs. Patriot making an appearance. Wow. All right. So Brett's in the building, so we can get going. Let's go over the charges really quickly because this came out today. And I want to read something to you, and I'm just going to read this directly from, and again, if we lose people on this tonight, this is the actual paperwork, okay? This is the actual paperwork that went into the charges. And so I'm going to read a couple of things here. I'm going to read it directly from this so that I'm not editorializing any of this. I'm going to read it directly from this so that you can see it. And we may post this on the Patriot as news a little bit later on. I wanted to get the main story out from the press conference today, but I'm going to read this directly from this legal document. Public record, by the way, too. Public record. Here we go. This is the District Court of the 19th Judicial District of the State of Oklahoma, sitting in and for Bryan County, State of Oklahoma, the plaintiff versus Bradley Sean Pittman. And counts 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all murder in the second degree, felony murder. Okay? And it goes down. Count number 1, which all 4 counts read the same, so I'm going to read them all. Murder in the second degree, felony murder, a felony on or about the 24th day of May 2020 while committing the felony crime of driving a motor vehicle while under the influence of alcohol, second and subsequent, having previously been convicted of the crime of driving a motor vehicle while under the influence of alcohol, second and subsequent, on the 12th day of November 2014 in Atoka County, Oklahoma, case number, and it reads the case number. Further, that while driving a 2010 Toyota Tundra at a high rate of speed while under the influence of alcohol, the defendant struck a 2003 Ford Escape, which was stopped at a red light and occupied by, and it goes on to list each of the individual occupants individually. And that as a result of the impact, this individual did languish and die. This crime is punishable by imprisonment for 10 years to life. So we're looking at 4 counts of murder in the second degree, which is punishable by prison of 10 years. 4 counts at 10 years. Quick math says that's 40 years at minimum that it could be. It could be life. 4 consecutive life sentences. Okay? Now, there was a lot of information that had gone earlier today that was talking about the fact that these counts were going to be homicide, negligent homicide, and that was a possibility. But due to the investigation of the police department, Durant Police Department, in conjunction with the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, in conjunction with the OSBI, who did a fantastic job of taking care of business, getting to all of this, getting it done right. They did everything right. They did everything in a timely manner. It was not rushed, but it was not delayed. Everything was taken care of. And because of the diligence of the peace officers in this town and in this county, then the district attorney has the ability to go ahead and make these 4 counts. If it were not for the proper investigation of our police department and our highway patrol and our OSBI, we would not be able to do this, not only, maybe not individually, but also in a timely manner. And I would say that today, Wednesday, that this is taken care of from something that happened late Sunday night, early Monday morning. This has been done in a timely manner. If you read today on the Bryan County Patriot, you will also note that Mr. Pittman was in the hospital in Plano. We're going to read this in just a moment to let you know how he got there. He was in the hospital in Plano. He has been arrested. He was treated and released, immediately arrested and taken to the Collin County Jail where he is currently. Tomorrow, about midday, there will be an extradition hearing to see if he will be where he will go from there. I have no further information on that. There is nothing to say where he will be extradited to. So when that information comes out, we will talk about it. In the meantime, we don't have that information, so we're not going to talk about it. So there. I mean, news and commentary goes only so far, and then there comes a point where you just keep your mouth shut. All right. Also, probable cause, which is probable cause, and the investigation of our peace officers is what brings us to the point that we can have the charges raised to where they are right now. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that. Let's look at this then. We're going to read this, and I'm going to read it word for word. I'm going to leave out some of the names. There's no reason to talk about the young men's names. We already know who they are. But I'm probably not going to mention the officers by name. Okay, so we're not going to do that. And I have no problem mentioning Mr. Pittman by name. On Sunday, May 24th, 2020, at approximately 11:58 p.m., a two-vehicle collision occurred on Main Street, US 70, and Radio Road in the city limits of Durant, Oklahoma. A gray 2003 Ford Escape with an Oklahoma tag number, there it was, and public vehicle identification number, there it was driven, traveling westbound, and was stopped in the left lane of the main street at the traffic light. A red 2010 Toyota Tundra pickup bearing license plate number with a vehicle identification number driven by Bradley Pittman, born in 1977, was traveling westbound and struck the rear of the Ford Escape. After the impact, both vehicles crossed the center median, departed the left side of the road before coming to rest. Passengers were identified. Pittman was the only occupant of the Toyota, and an odor of alcoholic beverage was detected emitting from his breath and person. Several witnesses observed the Tundra before the collision and said it was traveling at a high rate of speed. One witness was traveling westbound on Main Street, witnessed the collision, testified that he was one of the first persons to walk up. The red Toyota Tundra doors were locked, and there was only one occupant in the vehicle, and he was pinned under the steering wheel. There has been a lot of information that has gone out talking about the fact that Mr. Pittman was not there. According to this witness and probable cause, Mr. Pittman was there and the only occupant of the vehicle. There was nobody else driving this vehicle, and the doors were locked. According to this statement, probable cause. Let's move on. There were other witnesses that saw this accident take place. We're going to move on down then to one of the more important things about this. The Bryan County EMS, Durant Fire Rescue, and Durant Police Department responded to the scene. Photos were taken at the scene. Pittman was transported to Alliance Health Durant and later transported to Medical City Plano for treatment. Pittman did not flee. He was transported to Alliance Health Durant and transported to Medical City Plano for treatment. A police officer had responded to the collision scene. He smelled the odor of alcoholic beverage coming from Pittman. The hospital was hooking up IV and medications, beginning to treat for his injuries, making preparations for transporting Pittman out of state to Medical City Plano for continued care. The officer used OSBI blood kit, and he obtained and secured blood samples at that time, so the evidence would not be lost. An Oklahoma Highway Patrol trooper and homicide unit was requested to assist the case. They worked. They conducted interviews. The driver's license for Mr. Pittman and his social security number, which I will not read, are the same. Now, I don't know if you know what that means. Well, let me explain what that means, because if you haven't gotten a driver's license in a while, then your driver's license number and your social security number used to be the same. Mine was. I don't even know when that changed. I know it frustrated me for a while because now I had to memorize a new number. I don't think I still have my driver's license number memorized. But if the driver's license number and the social security number are the same, that means that he had not had a valid license in a while, and with a previous DUI for alcohol within the last 10 years, pending the toxicology. So the toxicology was taken care of. Our OSBI, our first responders did right. Everything is done right. Therefore, the final charge for the court could be murder in the second on every death count. So pending the toxicology, Pittman was committing a felony DUI at the time of collision. And the court also can charge for manslaughter because of him operating a motor vehicle license with a revoked license and causing a collision that resulted in death. So either one of these were there. But because our police officers and our highway patrolmen and our OSBI and in conjunction put in numerous man hours to get this done, they did it right. They worked around the clock. They did things. They got it taken care of. And because of that, then they can charge something that is make the counts that are a little bit higher up. It goes on to talk about the fact that the Ford was secured, taken care of. The Tundra was taken care of. If you've driven by there, then the scene was taken care of quickly. I was actually out early in the morning, Monday morning, and I was alerted to the fact that something had happened, and I need to be looking into this from a news standpoint. And cleanup was there, it was done, it was taken care of. Everything was done. The vehicles were done. It was all done, all cleaned up. The lab reports also, we have lab reports that were done from Alliance Health in Durant. And that seemed to be an issue with folks as well. Those were done as well. And OSBI toxicology reports are done as well. So we have lots of reports that were done from numerous settings, taken care of on all situations. And I just wanted to bring those out there to you to say, I'm appreciative, very, very much appreciative for the police, the fire department, the OSBI, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, our first responders, and everyone who was involved in this. And it is an amazingly tragic event, an overwhelmingly tragic event. And to deal with that, and to deal with the families, and to deal with the media, and to deal with everyone else involved, like they have, the professionalism. And I always, I'm one of those guys. I always like to say hi to the police, and I don't ever look like I'm sucking up or anything like that. But I always want to say thank you. I don't know what they go through on any given day. I have no concept of what these gentlemen and women go through on any given day, especially like this weekend. And the professionalism with which they've handled themselves is to be commended. I think that anytime that we see any of these people in uniform around Bryan County at all, you should commend them. You should tell them thank you, not just for this, I mean, for a lot of things, because even now they're still protecting us. And, there are a lot of police and other people within the country who get a bad report and give a bad report. There are people who do things wrong. We're seeing it even in the last 24 hours. There are people who have done things wrong. There are bad people wearing uniforms. But not everybody who wears a uniform is a bad person. I'd like to say that again. There are bad people who wear the uniform, but not everyone who wears the uniform is a bad person. And we have good people within this town and this county, and I commend them. I commend them. I commend them. I commend them. And especially to see all of the paperwork that we see, and we've gone over letter by letter, word by word. They did it right. So I know that, like I said, and it doesn't matter when I'm done here, there's going to be some more misinformation that's out there. And I get it. It's all right. Not everybody watches the show, and that's fine. But I thank you for the ones who did. And those of you who are watching tonight, I really appreciate you guys watching tonight. Just want to say thank you. I appreciate all the support that you have given, not only to me, to the Patriot, to the program. Jeff, man, it's good to see you tonight. Thanks for stopping by. And man, Gary, Brent, appreciate you all, seeing you all tonight. Sabrina, thank you for stopping by. Jennifer, man, It's always nice to see your name. And Debbie, lots of other folks that are here. Foo is in the house, or at least was at one point in time. But thank you to everyone. And by the way, I just wanted to say also, and I have numbers running through my head all the time. It's who I am. God made us all different. I'm constantly thinking of numbers. It's really weird because sometimes I may not actually recall your name right off the bat, but I can always tell you how many letters are in your name. I've got this Wheel of Fortune game going on, but I have lots of numbers. And one of the numbers that stood out to me today is the Facebook page is almost to 2,500 likes. And I've said it before. There are so many places that have so many more likes and follows and all that. And I know they're just numbers, but y'all aren't just numbers. So thank you very much for supporting the program. Just want to get that to you. I think, and I'm watching, you guys are, some of the people are going away now. That's fine. I think I'm done with this. Those are the counts. Those are the charges. And we may post this a little bit later on. This is a public record, so it's something that you all can get to. So anyway. All right. Okay, well, let's get to one more piece of good news then, and I think this is really pretty cool. And then we will get to the just the dumb picture of the day. How about that? All right, here we go. Let me see if I can share. I'm getting better at sharing the screens. Have you guys noticed that? You can laugh at me probably. That's okay. That's okay. All right, are we on? Is this shared? Here we go from the Durant City Pool. Like this news. We're going to try something different this year, opening to the public more hours. Monday through Thursday, we will open swim from 12:30 to 8 p.m. We will have our snack bar break from 3:30 now, will not close during that time. On Friday morning, we will be open swim 9 a.m. to 12, then open swim from 12:30 to 5. Saturday and Sunday, open swim from 12:30 to 5. Lots of times for friends and family to enjoy the Durant City Pool. And on top of that, extending swim lessons and sign-up times. So that is cool. All right, so that is on the Durant City Pool website. In case I read too fast or you didn't get to all that, that is there. So check that one out. And I appreciate you. So there we go. All right. Yes, Brian, those numbers are still accurate. Absolutely accurate. So go to the City Pool website. Check that out. And also, just so you know, and I know this is one of those things too, but it's worth mentioning. Hang on. Let's read this part too. Please help Durant City Pool be COVID-19 safe. Oh, I said it. Be beer bug safe. There we go. I probably got kicked off YouTube now. Sorry about that, guys. Social distancing is strongly encouraged throughout the pool deck, concession area, and pool water, in pool water and in bathroom areas. So they're still encouraging you to be socially distant. It's fine. We've always said on here, be wise. Benches and tables are spaced apart. Please do not move them. I don't know how difficult that is to follow, but sometimes people have a difficult time with that. Masks can only be worn in the pool deck, not while in the water. And I hate to think this, but somebody's going to try this, so I'm just reading it out. Masks are strongly encouraged in the concession area. We will not be holding any personal belongings. We will not be holding any lost and found items. Well, yeah, it's all a part of where we are in 2020. Guests are strongly encouraged to use hand sanitizer at the slide and diving board area provided by the City Pool. City Pool staff will be disinfecting continuously throughout the day. Thank you, Andrea Boyd, and thank you, by the way, Andrea. You are a great pool pool manager. And this is up there. They put it up there. Newest lifeguard, Caleb Foster, was going to be a lifeguard, and that's not going to happen this year. But I definitely wanted to honor him because I believe he would have done it well. And I commend all the people who are lifeguards there. So, man, I thank you for what you do. But anyway, go to the Durant City Pool page, and you can check that out and see a little bit more. That's what it looks like. So if you want to go to Durant City Pool page, there you go. All right. Did I get that done? Yes, the Dawn Hyde has made it. All right. Now, Dawn, here, by the way, thanks for pointing that out, Brian. Dawn, I was informed by Mrs. Patriot tonight that I didn't need to be going up against you. I was preaching tonight on another Facebook page, and as I was done, she said, well, you need to stop this. You're going up against Don Hyde. You can't go up against Don Hyde with his Facebook Live. And I said, Jody, It's Wednesday night at 7:00. Don Hyde's going up against me. So what's he doing? Why isn't he at church? That's anyway. I'm just teasing. The Don Hyde has made it tonight. So thanks very much for being here, the Don Hyde. All right, Lisa. Hey, Lisa. God bless you. Good to see you tonight. Dottie, I agree with you. Hate will get you nowhere, and that's where we're going to end this tonight with the dumbest picture of the day. I don't know if that should be a phrase or not, but Jamie, they put so much bleach in the pool, no virus is going to live in that pool. No, but you know what? Here's the deal about the extended hours, and I like this thought process. I enjoy going to the pool, and I take I take my kids to the public pool. I really enjoy that. I stop by. If you've been up there, then you probably have seen me up there. Generally I don't get in the pool. I don't know. Dad bod. So I don't know if the public is ready for that. I'm not sure. I don't think the public is. You're already seeing a lot of me right now. See, some of you all have more to cover this up. You're seeing, and by the way, Mrs. Patriot, I have told you this before. I need to get some more, production makeup, things like that. Thing about it is, I have to use so much makeup because it just doesn't stop right here. You have to keep putting makeup farther and farther and farther back, and just the expense of me using makeup for the broadcast is way too high. I don't think that's in the BCP budget, so we'll see. Anyway. No, I'm not dissing the public pool. I agree with that entirely. But I like the like seeing adult only swim time to get a good workout. Well, that may be. Where was I going with this? I know. Okay, so the hours there. So the hours have been like on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 5. Now it's going to be open Monday through Thursday from, what was that, 12:30 to, let me go back and make sure I'm reading this properly, 12:30 to 8. Where are we? This is on the city pool page. Okay, Monday through Thursday, open swim 12:30 to 8, and Friday morning 9 to 12, and then Saturday and Sunday open swim too. So you know what this actually does? I don't know and I'm believing that the folks at the city made this decision like this. When you expand the pool time like that, two things happen. One is that you're going to a comb over, really. One of the things is that you're going to get some more people there, which is cool. And I like that too, because that's going to help offset a little bit of the lost finances, because the pool time didn't start when it normally does. So you guys, when I had hair, let's stop this for a moment. When I had hair back in the 80s, and I had some really nice blonde hair, I'm telling you, nice. I had lots of it. It didn't go down too far. And probably a mullet before mullets were called mullets. We didn't call them mullets. We just called them hair back then. But I did part it in the middle. So this blonde, and it feathered. Got to tell you, we'll find a picture someday. Yeah, post a pic. They do exist. They do exist somewhere. Anyway, I was talking about something. Oh, Mrs. Patriot's going on. Yeah, Mrs. Patriot's saying she's going to post some hair pics. Well, we'll see about that. All right. Anyway, Nita, I'm glad you watched. Thank you for watching tonight. I appreciate that. Okay, so what it does, number one, is more people will come to the pool, which is going to make up some of the lost revenue, because normally, the pool season starts around Memorial Day. Well, we didn't have it. So you've got to, this is going to help. It's going to help the town. It helps the county. Helps with some revenue. And that's not a bad way to get the revenue. And by the way, those lifeguards, Miss Andrea, and those lifeguards up there, they do a fantastic job. They really do a good job. Love to see the teenagers getting to work out there. And so they're doing a good job, and they're taking care of business. And it's a great summer job. So now we're employing our kids. And you're making fun of the shirt now too, Squirrel? All right. Yes, Mrs. Patriot has already told you that this shirt has probably been in the dryer too much. Okay, I've got to finish this tonight. So here we are. The second thing this is going to do is it's going to expand the time so that, let's just say all things being equal, which we know all things are not equal, but all things being equal, you have 200 kids that go swim on a Tuesday. Okay. 200 kids that go swim on a Tuesday between 1 and 5. Chances are you're going to get a lot of kids all at once there. Social distancing becomes a challenge. But if you take the hours and you expand them, and so now you have 12:30 to 8, and you have those same 200 kids, again, all things being equal and all things are not equal. But if you have those same 200 kids, you spread them out over 7.5 hours, and some kids are going to try to spend a whole 7.5 hours there. My kids, there are days they would spend 7.5 hours in the pool. Now, there are days also that they're like 2 hours and they're like, Dad, we're tired. Can we go home? But they would do that. So you're benefiting in more than one way. The city's benefiting. Everybody's having a little bit more socially distanced time, and that's all well and good. So yeah, that's fine. All right. So anyway, I hope I didn't lose anybody. Did I lose anybody for that? All right. If I haven't lost you yet, just wait. Here we go. And we're going to wrap this up with the dumbest thing I've seen today. And this is where I usually take the gloves off. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Here we are. All right. There we go. This was posted on Facebook. Now, I edited the post. Dawn, stop yawning. Man, you're making me feel like I'm not doing a good job sometimes, man. Anyway, all right. So this is, and that's for Dottie. This was on Facebook today. And somebody posted it, and I understand that. I get that. I took off the name and face of the Facebook post, but I'm going to read this to you. And I'm going to close out with this because we are not going to walk in fear. I'm telling you, we are not going to walk in fear. I mentioned a couple days ago, I mentioned this yesterday when I was working and not like the police were working, but when I was, working on Monday, trying to get a proper story out and get things taken care of, and my phone buzzed. And so I got this thing on my phone coming up, and it gave me a headline. And the headline was blah, 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 something about the beer bug. And I thought, I am so over this. I am so over this. There are 4 young men in Durant that we don't have anymore, and I'm still getting all this about the beer bug. Come on. Give me a break. So we're done. We're over this. So, we took pictures yesterday, and one of the pictures that, some people took photograph that was up, this story was in the Herald Democrat. It was a picture that, one that looks like a lot of the ones that we all took. Somebody puts it on Facebook and says, and I quote, "I hate to be the one to point this out, but there's still a worldwide pandemic going on." I don't know if this person actually sounded like this, but in my mind, that's how this person sounds. So you're going to have to bear with me. "As tragic as this is, I'm afraid it will only lead to more deaths with the gathering of people wearing no mask. Not no masks, just no mask. I couldn't imagine the pain the family is feeling, but now is not the time to let our guard down." Okay. The first thing I have to say to that is, shut up, Karen. We didn't ask. Chances are you don't live here. And if you do, then you need to back off a little bit. Again, that goes back to the picture that somebody gave me, a picture of somebody, calling the authorities. I'm sorry, I'd like to report somebody who's not living in fear. We're not living in fear. We didn't have time for fear on Monday. Okay? We didn't have time to sit around and be afraid. Do people still need to have wisdom? You better believe we still need to have wisdom. Do people still need to use discretion? Oh, you better believe it. But I'll tell you right now, we didn't have time for that garbage on Monday. We took care of one another because we're family, because we're once a lion, always a lion, because we loved one another. And you saw teenagers out there hugging one another and caring for one another because they lost their brothers. They understood that, and we understood that. And I didn't see anybody going out there going, "Would you please put your mask on and not care for somebody who just is dealing with a tragic situation?" My backside. That didn't happen. Nobody did that. We stood around. I had an umbrella to keep my camera from getting wet. Other people didn't have umbrellas. You see lots of umbrellas in that pictures. It was raining. Normally I like a rainy day. I enjoy days like that. But on Monday, the rain just seemed to be the mood. That's what it was. It was just the mood of the day. It was a sad day. It was a solemn day. It was a day none of us will ever forget. We didn't have time to be afraid. We didn't have time to go back and find a mask. We didn't have time to do that other one. What we had time for was to love somebody and to pray for somebody and to care for somebody and to wrap your arms around somebody. We've been social distancing for so long. Some people have forgotten how to give a hug. Some people have said they may never shake hands again. Forget that. We didn't have time for that. We had time to love one another. And if you didn't love one another in that time, in that opportunity, then you missed your opportunity to love somebody, because that's when they needed it most. And they didn't need a lecture on a mask or not a mask. They didn't need a lecture on social distancing. What they needed was somebody to cry with them, love on them, grieve with them. And then if you really feel like it's all going down the tubes, then pray for them later on to say, all right, Father, we had to get out here in the big middle of this. Thank you for protecting all of us. Let's not let this beer bug spread. So let's break it down here really quickly before we go and wrap things up. I hate to be the one to point this out. No, you don't, or you wouldn't have put it on there. You don't hate to do anything. The whole reason you're on there is to get attention. Don't say you hate to be the one, but there's still a worldwide pandemic going on. And you know what? Like, we need you to remind us for that. The national media today, I got my report on my news app, which makes me want to throw my phone up against the wall. My national report telling me that 100,000 people in the United States have now died. Do you think they did? Hey, they've been waiting for that. They've been waiting to say that. 100,000 people that's like the whole city. Here, let me read this. I'm not going to mess this up. Oh, come on. Get up here. Whatever. It's like the whole city of South Bend, Indiana has just been erased in 4 months. They've been waiting for that headline. You think somebody just posted that headline and said, I wonder, are there any cities out there that have 100,000 people in it? Search. Oh, South Bend, Indiana. They've had that headline waiting for days. They wanted to put that out there because they've been waiting to tell you 100,000 people have passed on because of COVID-19, the beer bug, coronavirus. Kick me off. I don't care. They've been waiting to say that. They've been waiting to put this up there so they could tell you there's a worldwide pandemic going on. We all know it. We don't need you, Karen. So back off. As tragic as this all is, I'm afraid. See, you're afraid. And we're not going to walk in fear. So you can go over to your section of the woods and be afraid. We're not going to be afraid. We're not going to walk in fear around here. And when somebody needs help around here, we're going to love on them. We're going to be a family, and we're going to take care of them. I'm afraid that it will only lead to more deaths. We haven't had that many here, and we're not going to. So don't tell us we're going to die. You're not in charge of who lives and who dies. You go be afraid somewhere else. With the gathering of people wearing no mask. What do you have? One big mask collectively for all of us? Put it plural. I couldn't imagine the pain of the families. More than one family. Unless you're talking about us all, we are one family, one team, one family. And you're not trying to imagine the pain of one family. You're trying to get your virtue signaling out there to make yourself look good. Back off. I can't imagine the pain the family is feeling, but now is not the time to let our guard down. You know what? You're not guarding me. You're not in charge of me. You're not in charge of this town. You're reading this from afar, because if you were somebody here, you should have been hugging somebody else. You should have been loving on somebody else. And bless God, you should have been praying for somebody else. So my message to you right now, Karen, is this. Get off my lawn. You don't belong here. So there you go. And that right there, that's the dumbest thing I've seen today. And I've seen some dumb things today. So there you are. All right. Don't be a Karen. There we go. Get off my lawn. There. That's my message to everybody. Not to everybody. That's my message, maybe from everybody. I don't know. Hey, we've had a good show tonight. My goodness. we have, wow, did 45 minutes? Really? Wow. Okay. Well, to everybody watching tonight, thanks so much for watching. I think we're at an end tonight. Flying solo, and sometimes when I fly solo, I don't know when to stop talking. So I'm sorry about that. Maybe a little bit. Anyway, as Dottie always and Dottie says, me and the microphone are friends. So yeah, me and the microphone are friends. There we are. I just want to tell you, thank you. We went over the positives tonight. We also positively identified the news tonight. If you have any questions, go back and watch this again because it'll tell you exactly what the charges are. And again, our police and our folks did a great job, an absolutely fantastic job. So Kelsey, good to see you tonight. My monitor switched on me, so I'm not seeing everybody that comes up. So hey neighbor. Hey Jeannie, man, it's good to see you tonight. Gina, hey, oh, you're right. There you are. No, I'm not really sorry, Brian. You're right. I didn't mind talking. Good guest tomorrow. Really good guest tomorrow. We're going to talk about some of the businesses and the industry in Durant. It's what this show is about. We're trying to, here comes closing number one. Thanks, Lindsay. Because that's what preachers do. What does it mean when a preacher says in closing? Absolutely nothing. That's right. So in closing, good guest tomorrow. Really good guest tomorrow. I'm excited to get to visit with this guest tomorrow and talking about industry. It's what we've been wanting to do. We don't want to lose any businesses. We do not want to lose any businesses. As a matter of fact, we want to grow. We want to grow this county. We want to grow this county, and we're not going to be slowed down by the beer bug, and we're not going to be slowed down by a lot of things. Now, drive slowly through Calera. I will tell you that. If Don is still watching, drive slowly through Calera. Not just I'm saying it slowly, I'm telling you, drive slowly through Calera. And that's going to help us grow too. So good guest tomorrow night. All right, Lindsay, I'm going to close now with my second closing being my real closing. Good to see everybody tonight. Thank you so much for stopping by. Jeannie, yeah, thank you for stopping by. Robert, you and Jamie are a blessing, and I really appreciate that. Vicky, thank you very much for stopping by tonight as well. Trying to get back on here. Karen's will be Karen's. That is true. Let's just keep that. There we go. Karen's will be Karen's. So I like that. All right. Are we done? We are done. Be wise. Seriously. Be wise. Hang on. Sorry, I didn't want to close out and lose my voice as I was closing. Be wise. Use discretion. And do not walk in fear. I love you guys. I pray God bless you. And we'll do this again tomorrow night about 9 o'clock. All right. God bless you. Have a great night.